I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me.
Welcome to the Millionaire Before 30 Years Old show. I am Brent Daniels, Mr. Talk to People, Mr. TTP, and we are on a mission.
That we are, Brent. As you guys know, our beautiful introduction, we have designed this show to give you guys the exact blueprint of how to become a millionaire before 30. I'm Ryan Zolin, Mr. TTP. We got the man, the myth, the legend back with us today.
He's back.
Good to be back, everybody.
Yes.
Good to be back. Missed all you guys out there.
Albert is back. And we're excited. Today, listen, guys, this is going to be a really, really great opening segment here of the show. Remember, this show is all about participation. This show is all about answering the questions that you have. So make sure that this is interactive, that you are putting in the comments section any questions or any successes that you've had this week so that we can celebrate you and answer any questions you have. But we're going to start out fast today talking about going into the new year. Right? Yes. We always have wonderful reflections and see what we accomplished in 2021 over the last 12 months. There's something magical. I always think Christmas is great, holidays are great, all of that is great, but I love New Year's Eve. I love the freshness of it. I love the ability to have gratitude towards the things that you have, but also to really light that fire in your belly. I have had more calls from like the top guys around the country this week talking about how excited they are about this year coming up. So this is where I want to put you guys on the hot seat.
Let's do it.
On putting together your goals going forward for the next 12 months. So as a recap, what do you think between you guys here are your highlights from 2021? What's some big nuggets that you have really taken home, whether it's doing the show and getting louder and doing that type of thing, like being on more social media to get more opportunities for your business, whether it be certain deals that you've done, whether it be your technique and your like ninja skills on, no, you guys have really mastered the ability to get deals off of the MLS. And I think that that's very intimidating, and I think that you've done it in a really consistent and understandable and duplicatable manner. Like what comes to mind in 2020? I'm rambling here to give you guys enough time because I'm just popping this on you. But I'm what are those big things that pop out to you that you're really excited that you learned that you think that our audience can get some juice from?
For sure. So, I mean, first off, I realize every year for the past like 2-3 years, I've been setting the bar low, which completely contradicts everything that I go against. I always say I'd rather set the bar high and miss rather than setting the bar low and hit.
I get it.
And so this year, my goal was about 500 gross, 350 net.
Okay.
We doubled it.
Awesome.
So that was my personal.
Netted 700,000.
Netted 700. We grossed just over $1 million first year.
I love it.
So it was fantastic.
What do you mean first year? Because this isn't your first year.
First year.
This is the first year you've done that.
Grossed over $1 million.
Of over $1 million.
Correct.
That's a huge milestone. I mean,
huge.
That is, first we start with just doing our first deal. Then we go to, well, I hope that we can do 100,000 or the goal is 100,000. Then it's $250,000. Then it's $1 million. And then it just goes from there, right? So now that you've hit $1 million, your brain's changed, right? Now you're thinking bigger.
Without a doubt.
Right?
So next year's goal is like 1.5 gross, 1 million net.
Love it. And you can net 66% in your business?
Dude, this year, I mean, we're close to like 70, like 75. It just depends on where most of the deals are coming from. And this year was our first year being able to prove that agent outreach and MLS deals can be a fully sustainable business model to bring in that $1 million.
Right. So, right. Albert, hit us with it.
Thinking back through a highlight of 2021, it's crazy to think the beginning of 2021, I was in a cubicle 9 to 5. January through mid-February, that was my thing. And when I broke out and did this real estate, looking back, the highlight was just learning and learning and learning. Because granted, Ryan's on year 5, going on year 6. I'm on month 11, and to see the exponential growth that I've gone through the months, I'm truly grateful for the community and everyone that's helped me through the years. But my personal goal this year, really, when I started out, was I want to try and nail 3 flips this year. And we're on house 7 or 8, I think. 7 or 8, going to crush the year. I'm like, man, I came in from swinging a hammer to now I'm like designing things. I'm putting, works of art together that people get to call their new homes. And I'm truly, truly grateful that we have the opportunity to give families a new home, especially, like you said, around the holidays.
Yep.
Huge goal. So,
and this has been this is your guys' partnership year, right?
Yeah.
This is the new,
Basically,
how do you function as a partnership without killing each other? You know what I mean? Listen, it was always a struggle for me.
For sure.
I had the best of the best. Mike Mahoney, my best friend, was my business partner for years and years and years. And then Dustin Monger, an incredible real estate professional that has quadrupled his business since going out on his own, and the same with my business. So how do you keep it together? Is it something that it's just a lot of communication? Is it just a lot of mutual respect? Is it just both of you guys knowing that you guys are both hustling? What does that look like?
So all of you just mentioned, and also Albert, chime in here if I missed something. But I say, a lot of it has to do that we were really, really close prior to business.
Got it.
So when I was able to tell them dude, look what we're doing with the flip, look at what I'm doing with wholesale, look what I'm doing with traditional real estate. It was I kind of painted this vision. And I understand going from a 9-to-5 corporate life, consistent, stable income, benefits, whole 9 yards, to real estate, no check consistently. I can understand the scare. So there was a lot of trust that came into him seeing and believing in me.
Yeah.
But then also, too, it was that we both understood our personalities meshed pretty well, being that we were so close prior to real estate, and then understanding this is the vehicle and the vision that could lead us to where we want to have our houses next door with the basements that connect.
I love it. I love it.
I'll also say a thing that I think really keeps us from ripping each other's head off is really brutal honesty and brutal feedback.
Has to be.
Because I think if you're a good friends, best friends, whatever, business partners, it is a disservice if you're sugarcoating any type of criticism to your partner, whoever that may be, because they can only grow through honest feedback. If you're sugarcoating something, then you're sparing their feelings, but at the end of the day, it kind of hurts in the long run because they can't grow.
Right.
Ryan has called me out plenty of times, hey, dude, take a step back, look at what you just said, and think about it from my point of view, from someone else's, and I've done it to him vice versa, and it keeps us in line, yeah, I can see that, because in the moment, we don't necessarily see what other people are seeing. Emotions are high, whether it's a high-tension deal, big problem, but take a step back and we call each other out how it is.
Yep.
It's not hurtful, it's truthful.
And
it's
it comes
what
with
we
that
do.
mutual respect. You have to be able to understand where each other are coming from.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there's definitely times we butt heads and we're we have to challenge each other. He'll come out and say, dude, you need to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, hang on. I did it because of this and this. And he's like, okay, I can see where you're coming from, but maybe still do this.
I love it. That when you're saying that is Gary Vee talks about it in his new book, 12 and a half, as the half that he's decent at, which is kind candor.
Yes.
That's what you're talking about.
100%.
That honesty, that transparency, that, listen, this is how I am feeling. If you don't have that with your partner, it gets very, you start it starts building some cancer cells.
Yes.
And that starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where,
and I
do
have to say too, I think a lot of it comes with role identification.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I know that I am not good at that Albert is phenomenal at, and there's a lot of things
self-awareness.
He knows that he's dude, I can't do this, but you could do that. So it's we really just play into each other's strengths.
I love it. I love it. And listen, and when you have that and you're pointed in the right direction and it's lined up, the only thing that will stop you, and this is the truth, and this is the thing that I see time and time and time again, everybody listen to me, and I went on a soapbox yesterday a little bit about this, but focus. Focus on the goal. Focus on what you can really, really, really do on a daily basis.
Yes.
If you get stuck with a lot of different good ideas coming at you at different times, especially in this business where there's 1,001 ways to make
Without a doubt.
income and to build wealth,
Yep.
and you start doing everything,
Yep.
you start doing nothing. And it is the absolute truth. So with that focus, let's start talking about some of the things that you guys are focused on, the goals that you have for 2022. You said $1.5 million,
Yep.
keeping $1 million of that.
Yep.
That's
And
fantastic.
that's my personal goal.
Right.
So I want to hear what Albert's personal goal
Okay.
is too, because this is stuff we kind of dive into with my team at the end of the year. I like to figure out what everyone's game plan is going
Yep.
into the new year. But I think it's a perfect time to open it up for Albert to
Yeah.
chime in on that.
Sure. I mean, coming into this, right, wholesale was a completely new concept for me, especially wholesaling off the MLS. I never even heard of it.
Right.
I did a few wholesale deals this year, which I'm very proud of, just, pulling it out, figuring it out. But now that I've spent the time this year figuring it out, my personal goal next year is I want to do $100K in assignment fees wholesaling off the MLS, myself.
Yeah.
I've been so focused on the flips, getting those things done, I left the wholesaling on the side because that's not my main focus. And really talking about focus, the biggest thing you hit on the head is I want to put more horse blinders on. There are 1,000,001 ways to make money in this world, and it's very, very distracting.
Yeah.
My feed is filled with NFTs, Bitcoin, e-commerce, drop shipping. I don't know what else is filled with. And it's so easy
And
to
you've
get
got that
distracted.
mind that you're like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to do that. Oh, I want to
Exactly.
jump onto that. I want to do that. He probably has to Albert, what are you doing? Stay.
Yeah,
Get over
'cause
here.
I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah.
naturally curious that I just
Right.
want to try it and see what it's like. But what I've learned is if you try to do everything, you end up really doing nothing.
Yeah.
So a big goal of mine is really put on the horse blinders, get really good and fine-tuned with my flips, get really good and fine-tuned
Mm-hmm.
my wholesaling. Everything else can be put to side. I don't care if anyone says, you're missing out. I'm like, I'm going to miss out if I don't focus on my one thing,
Yeah.
and then I will have no assets, no financial freedom to deploy and try anything else.
Yeah.
So it's a waiting game. It's a long game.
No, and I like you testing things and investigating in things and doing that. But if you don't know what your goal is, like if you're feeling like you're in limbo and you're like, okay, I like this real estate thing, but is it in my gut? Like, is that the thing that fires me up? Do I get up early and I'm like, oh,
Let's
yes,
go.
like
Yeah.
I can't wait to go see that property or go on that appointment or make those calls or talk to this lead or build this team and
Yep.
and encourage and train and really build a solid company that is going to wholesale real estate, that is going to flip real estate, that's going to eventually buy and develop real estate or lend
Yep.
to real estate, those type of things, right? Like there is a path there to do it, but it has to be like your purpose. It has to be like, oh, this
to
is what I
feel it.
want to do.
Yeah.
Because if it's not and you're not 100%, you're going to be, it's like finding the right person that you want to marry and you're like, oh my gosh, this person is incredible.
Yep.
And then you're like blinders on to all the other ladies and all the other guys and all the other whatever. I'm talking to the audience. You know what I mean? Like it's just putting on those blinders and you're like, this is what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to nurture this business. I'm going to grow this and it's going to be something outstanding. But it can't be, you can't fake the funk.
No.
You can't fake the funk. It can't be 3 months, 6 months down the road, and you're like, oh, I picked the wrong
Well,
wrong
dude,
deal,
I
wrong
actually,
business.
I felt that. This was like
Yeah.
even this year at the beginning of the year.
Right.
I was like, man, why am I not feeling like fulfilled? Like,
Yeah.
why is this like I'm waking up and I always tell people like even when I coach them and stuff, I'm like, I don't wake up like 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot house. Yes, I can't wait. I wake up like, man, I don't have a check.
Right.
I got to go find something. I got to help people. I got to do this, this, this. But then it was like once I was able to tap in deep inside this year, I realized it was impact.
Yeah.
It was going and figuring out what your why was. So then I was able to kind of like reverse engineer and be like, real estate is the vehicle.
Yeah.
I don't need to be so in love and passionate and feel the desire inside me to be like, real estate is this. But I also understand that the path of the alternative was working for somebody else's dream.
Right.
And what are they going to do? They're going to make that money and go invest in real estate. So
Right.
I was able to figure out myself and my why, and that definitely made the biggest impact too.
Well, listen, if your end goal, which I think a lot of people that we speak to and a lot of people that are involved in our life
Yep.
is buy assets for
Yep.
passive cash flow so you
Yep.
have more control of your life.
Yes.
That's it.
That's
Well,
it.
how are you going to do it? You can build a business doing something else and hopefully get a big payday and be
Yep.
able to put that into something.
Yep.
Or you can consistently build your bank account up by finding discounted property
Right.
and getting it in front of people that either want those or flip them yourself.
Absolutely.
That's the model that we're talking about.
100%.
That I have seen be the most consistent at winning.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I'm talking even back before the crash, and I've seen more people make money on that crash than now. So there's always good times for this business. There's always opportunity in this business. It's just whether or not you're going to be able to stay focused on going after distressed properties, getting the cash coming in, and then using that cash. So that's the blueprint that we have, Matt. If you can just load that up. This is the blueprint that we have, just so that everybody knows this is what we really, really, really want to like pound every single show to keep people in that focus. Number one is to do a deal. Just do your first deal. Once you start doing a deal, you cross that bridge from faith to fact, and then all of a sudden you know in your mind that this is proof positive you can do this, and you can do it again and again and again.
Absolutely.
And that leads to
going full-time in this business. And I think we can even give a real-life example, talking about it with Albert. Albert went and he was doing this part-time, doing one flip a year, doing the wholesale deal on the side here and there, to then once he switched and transitioned full-time, you see this boom. You see this energy come. You see this ability. It's like when you go and you're wanting a blue Jeep. And next thing you know, you drive it off the lot. Everybody has a blue Jeep. You go full-time. You start looking for deals. You start finding deals. More opportunities are there. Going full-time is the biggest transition that you will see in your entire life after you do the deal.
Right. Love it. Next is to kill the debt. Listen, don't be somebody else's ROI. I mean, that's what you are. Especially, I mean, listen, if you work for somebody, you're somebody's ROI. That we know that. So that's why we encourage you to go full-time in the business. So, and then once you get to that point where you're not somebody else's return on investment, ROI, then you don't want to spend money, give all your money back to interest for consumer debt. Credit cards, student loans, cars, right? Kill that debt so that you can keep this money, so then you can eventually
invest into assets.
That's
so
right.
You're full-time, you start getting rid of debt, you're basically at ground zero. What do you do then? You start building up money from doing the business. So then once you get it, you don't go buy the cars, you don't put it all on credit cards. You invest into assets, you invest into yourself. You're able to then go and get into the final step, which is
financial freedom. That's the ultimate control. I mean, just think about that. Think about the day when you are like everything's paid for. You're not worried. You're not going to the grocery store and checking what things cost. You're not going to the, you're not worried about donating to your church or your charity or whatever else. You're there now. You're there. You're coaching. You're teaching. You're doing all these amazing things that you want to do, or you're just kicking it on a beach, or you're chopping logs in the woods, or you're riding a motorcycle, whatever it is. But you have control over your schedule, and we only have a certain amount of time on this planet.
Right.
And the more that you can control what you want to do, I think that leads to a lot of fulfillment and a lot of happiness.
Without a
doubt. And it allows you to serve the community more because somebody's not telling you what to do. You're doing it from your own heart. You're doing it from your own soul.
I love that. And the biggest word that stuck out to me as you were saying that was control.
Yep.
I mean, how many times are you controlled by where you have to be, what your time is worth, what your value is, where you can basically give them the middle finger and say, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I want to do. And this is who I want to do it with.
Love it.
That's what it's all about.
Love it. So you've got 1.5.
Yes.
So that breaks down to 120-ish, 125 grand a month.
Correct.
How many deals do you have to close to hit 100? Because it's not perfect, right? There's one month where you make 40, and then there's another month where you make 330.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
So how do you make sure that you deal with the kind of turbulence of when you get paid? You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because it's kind of...
Oh, absolutely. I always say ebbs and flows. Being in real estate, where you see most realtors work, is that they go and they get 3 deals under contract, but then they're not worrying about the pipeline. Right. So then they'll close those 3 deals. They're like, I'm rich. I'm going to go do this. We're going to go on vacation. We're going to spend this. We're going to kill the debt. We're going to invest, blah, 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 blah. But then they have 2-3 months of just quiet.
Right.
So for me, it was diversifying through multiple streams of income. That was start.
Okay.
But then also, too, it's not getting distracted like we were talking about at the beginning of the show.
Is 1.5, this is everything?
This is everything.
This isn't just your real estate business.
This is everything.
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 You want to make 1.5, spend 5, and keep $1 million.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it. Okay.
So
breaking that down,
Yep.
you have to keep that $1 million. It's what, 83,000? What is it, Albert? 83,000.
It's
3,333
Yep.
a month.
Yep.
to
And right
keep.
now we're on track. We have an escrow. We're gonna close close to 6 figures.
Right.
Already planned for January.
Well, you have to.
So I mean,
You have to start out fast.
have to. Yep.
You
We've
can't play catch up.
We already have 3 closings scheduled for January.
I know.
So
We do too. It's
we're good.
incredible.
We're good.
So that's the important thing, and I
Yes.
love that. You guys have taken this year to really figure out what you want to focus on, what you are really good at, right?
Yes.
You're not going out there and you're not going out there and putting billboards out.
No.
You know what I mean? You're not going out there and you're doing your meetup.
Yep.
On Tuesdays, which, guys, if you're in Phoenix, you have to go to.
Yep.
What is that? Every...
So it's usually the first Tuesday of every month. We
Yep.
have the surprise, like we'll throw a little curveball here, but
Yep.
from Friday with the challenge with Jamil,
Yeah.
we actually have an announcement for next Monday on Wholesale Hotline.
Yep.
We're flying somebody out. They're going to be the guest of honor at the meetup.
Awesome.
Jamil's speaking, Pace is coming.
Awesome.
We're introducing them to the entire town.
When?
This is going to be January 11th. So typically it's the first Tuesday of every month is the meetup. This
Love
one's
it.
going to be the second Tuesday just to give people a little bit of time through the holidays.
Love it.
And I mean, the value in the meetups, guys. Your network
be
is your net
bananas,
worth, and this is getting face to face. People pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to be around these people. We're there. We're there.
Yeah, but let's give people a little bit of perspective here. How did you build that?
The community.
Yeah, why? How do people know about you? How do people know? I mean, you came out of high school. It's not like everybody. You were best friends with Jamil and me and Steve Trang.
Right.
Like, how did you build that up?
So we were talking before the show about one of our buddies, Ryan Pineda, and how he was kind of just quiet for the longest time.
Right.
He was just flipping houses and just crushing.
Yep.
I kind of did the same thing where I had been a traditional agent for 3 years, and the first person that noticed me was Templeton Walker.
Yep.
He saw that I was the #1 team at the brokerage.
Yep.
He saw that I was making some noise.
Yep.
And his model was exactly what I do. It was
Yeah.
agent outreach. So what does he do? He sees a young guy that's hustling, that wants to be like him, and he sees that I'm crushing in traditional side. He wanted to show me what the path was in the investment.
Oh, so you mean like going out there with super hard focused work got attention?
Absolutely.
Right.
And also, too, I mean, I always say E&E, no ego, no entitlement. I never once was the guy that had to go buy the sports car.
Yeah.
I did buy the Rolex, but I didn't go out and try to be somebody that I wasn't. I
Right.
just kept my head down and I grinded. And then really, full transparency, it was this year 5, that I blew up. We started the
I
show.
know.
Jamil had me start speaking at his events.
Yep.
Steve has me be one of the top teams and guys that he's referring people to. It took the grit, it took the hustle, it took the blinders being on, being like, this is my path. And then I just figured out what I was good at. I understood that I could kind of manipulate the system being an agent, that I could get the wholesale deals with the fee and the commission. That I was like, it's game over.
Yeah.
And so then I just started surrounding myself by bigger fish, and they kind of just paved the way for me.
Love it. Guys, there's the blueprint.
That's the blueprint.
Work really, really, really hard. Get noticed. He was in a traditional brokerage where you get noticed on a monthly basis because they show your production, but you don't have to do that. You can be loud on social media. You can document your journey. I am telling you, guys, that has been my theme, and this is the last live show, well, besides Wholesale Hotline next week, but this is the last live show of this for this year, and this year's whole motto was get loud, get loud, get loud, get loud. Have that confidence to document what you're doing and go through and filter through anybody that's, trolling or hating or whatever else, but most of it's going to be a lot of love. And it's going to be a big magnet for you to build really incredible relationships. Because the people that you want to be around are probably the people that are loudest on social media, and they're doing special things and getting opportunities other people aren't getting loud on social media. It's just the truth.
I wish I had gotten louder sooner.
Of course.
And I mean, I take
Me
this
too,
from Gary
yeah.
Vee, where it's document the journey.
Document it.
I didn't do that well enough. Now, don't
You're
get me
doing
wrong,
it now.
I am now. And I was consistent where I was like, here's this, here's that. But I also kind of felt weird, even not having the ego, that I was like, I don't want to show my friends and family that I'm making $30,000 a month at 18. I don't want to show them I'm making $15,000 this next month too. So then it was this year.
Why though?
It was more of just I guess the self-conscious.
Bragging?
Yeah, it felt wrong.
Yeah.
And so I also saw all these guys on social media posting the sports cars, posting the bottles at the clubs, and posting the watches. And so then it was this year, Jamil kind of got really hard on me. He's like, dude, you've got to get loud.
Yep.
Build this community.
Yep.
Build it.
Yep.
And so if I was able to do that a little more consistently, I mean, look at this year.
Yeah.
This year we've gotten loud, and here we are.
Here we are, and the meetup's going to be bananas.
Dude,
Next year is going to be fantastic.
This meetup, I think the first one
Yep.
of the year is we're talking like 150 plus people.
How do people that are local here or people that maybe want to drive in,
Yeah.
how do they find out
Follow
about
us on social media. Just my username, Instagram at Ryan Zolin. We post all about it. We use a Discord channel as well. We're going to post in our Facebook group. We are just posting this thing everywhere. We'll tag Brent so he can
Yep.
share it. We'll tag
Yep.
everybody. And you guys, if you are not seeing this meetup, it is going to be absolutely bananas.
Awesome. So there's the goals, the breakdown.
Yeah.
Let's start opening this up, Hundra. If we've got some comments and some questions, so that we can get some interaction here. We did our best to warm it up and get everybody's minds cranking. If you have goals that you want to share with us and just make it publicly known, it makes it a lot easier to be held accountable if you post it out there and let other people know. Also, let everybody know where you're from. And squad up in the comments sections so that you can really find people that are similar to you, that have a similar brain, that have similar goals, that have similar ambitions, that have that similar drive and fire in their belly.
Yeah.
And
Albert, was there anything that was missing goals-wise? Did you have anything else that you wanted to throw in there?
I mean, other than that, we've had our struggles through the years, and we had our problems that, we learned from. So, of course, going next year, it's going to be continuously refining our process, right?
Yep.
Taking our mistakes in and making sure that they don't happen again. Because if it costs money to make this mistake, we're not going to make it again.
Yep.
Right? We better keep growing.
That's what we say. You don't lose. We win or we learn.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? And then people are like, well, I would do this, this, and this. And then why don't you do that? Well, I don't want to put in the work. I want to be a concert pianist. Do you really? You want to practice for 12 hours a day?
Right.
For 15 years?
Literally.
You know what I mean? You want to go through all that? No, you don't.
Right.
You don't want to do that. What do you really want to do?
Yep.
What can you really put the work into? Is it building a business that you can then bring your kids into as you get older, bring your family into, bring your best friends? That's what I've done. My parents work with me. My mom's my bookkeeper. My dad's my CFO. My best friends work with me on the marketing side for the coaching, and my college roommates and best friends work with me on my wholesaling business. We had the best year ever, 1.7 million, 1.711 million, and 50% profitability, according to my dad. So that is, it's phenomenal.
And that's
Life couldn't get better.
just real estate deals.
That's just wholesale. That's just wholesale and flips. Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. So there you go. Let's open this thing up to everybody. Hunter's looking cool. We'll put her on camera here soon. She's got her cool beanie. She's got her cool community shirt. She's all about the community. So scoot over there. Show everybody who's picking out the comments. There we are. There's Handra on camera. Hey, there we go. Awesome. So be nice to her. She'll pick out your comments. Let's share some success. All right? Let's share some success and some questions. Oh, on my way to lock up 2 deals while listening to the show. I'm jacked up. Ralph, lock those deals up. Lock them up, brother.
Let's go.
I hope that those leads are pre-qualified. I hope that you have a we're not going to ring the bell for him yet. He needs a post. He needs a post. He needs a post that he got him locked up. Yeah, I get it. But Ralph, listen, phenomenal. You've got this. Listen, get to the appointment. Get your mind right. Understand. Go through what's the condition, timeline, motivation, price. Remember, negotiating comes down to price, terms, and you, right? Certainty and likability. Those are the 2 words that you're walking in that door with. Certainty, likability. We don't cause friction. We go in there to provide value and solve problems. Certainty, likability. Todd Toback taught me that.
I love it.
Shoot. 5-6 years ago, and it has changed how we approach appointments for sure.
Love it.
And now we've just been blown up. So there you go, Ralph. Get it. Noah, fly me out for the meetup. There you go, Noah. How does
Yeah, so they have to go, I believe it's into Jamil's bio. They've got to sign up for a call with the Astro Flipping and then email his assistant, Emily at jdamg.com. And then they pick one. I believe it's actually going to be on, like I said, the wholesale hotline next Monday.
Awesome. Yeah, come join us Monday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for Wholesale Hotline. We'll pick somebody there.
And they're taking care of flight, hotel, and then they get to shadow me in my operation for a day, and then they get to shadow Keegley for a day.
Dope.
I mean, that's a 6-figure value.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yep. Get on there. MLS Strategies.
Wait on this comment.
Okay.
Comment because someone asked what this is first.
Oh, okay, Chris. The MLS is the multiple listing service. So anytime somebody hires a real estate agent to sell their house, they put together what's called a listing agreement. That listing agreement gives that agent the ability to earn money by promoting and selling and negotiating and walking through a property owner through the process of selling their property.
Correct.
And so the MLS is the database. It's exclusive to just realtors, just real estate agents, and that's where all of the postings go on. So when you see a property getting posted to Zillow and it's for sale, it was on the MLS first, and then it gets, spit out to all these different websites, but it starts on the MLS. So the MLS is the most accurate, like shop. It's like a store. Think of the MLS as like Amazon for properties, and only real estate agents can sell properties on there. That's an MLS.
That's it.
Yep.
MLS Strategies. So, I mean, there's a million different options. I always say, like,
simplify it.
Yeah, let's go. The one that I'm going to give you just to start with, go anywhere that like the backyard of your like, it's this specific zip code, this specific neighborhood.
Right.
This specific city, if you want to broaden it a little bit. Look at properties that are 30+ days on market. If it's not selling, it's going to be for a reason. I always say it's either a bad agent or a bad seller. Usually it's with expectations not being set properly. But just like when you're going direct to seller, figure out what the seller's situation and their motivation is, and you'll be able to problem solve whatever it is that they're looking for.
Yep.
So I would start with 30+ days on market. Aside from that, if you want to throw some keywords in there, that's what I'd do.
Yep. Awesome.
How do you choose a business partner? So, Albert, you want to throw this one?
I'm trying to think about that. How do you choose a business partner? And
I think it's similar
honestly,
to
I really think it's this. You don't choose your best friend. You really don't.
Wait a
Ours happened to happen by happenstance, right? It meshed out. But because we're best friends, it's you have a skill set that I don't have, and I have a skill set that you don't have, or you're not as great at. But if you choose your best friend that thinks like you, that works like you, you won't be able to see different viewpoints. And the way I see it is with the team, the same way when we run our processes is I want feedback from everybody, because when I spit out data and I spit out things for the team, it's what I see through my 2 eyes, but I have 8 other eyes and 8 other opinions that go on it. So I want to know, what do you see that I'm missing? And when it comes to a business partner, I think the really best duos are the ones that complement each other with some friction, that challenge each other, but they're not yes men. They don't agree with you for everything. Yes, healthy tension. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, I think it's a natural thing. You know what I mean? I think it's something
Do you
where
think that they do the whole dating period before they just like jump into a partnership? I know there's a lot of
I
guys
think
that go
most people do it, get part of the reason I did it is because I came from everything that I did growing up. I did team sports.
Okay.
I never did. I mean, I did track, but most of the time it was you're part of a team with that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was very used to being a part of a team and growing the team, and the team comes first, and it was very, like whatever. So it was more like hanging out.
Right.
Like most people become business partners because they want somebody to hang out with. They want somebody to share things with. Because the honest truth is, transitioning out of high school, going into college, trying to figure out what's going on. I knew that I didn't want to work in some corporate job. And I felt like everybody else that I grew up with, my friend group, wanted to just go to college, get a job, do that type of thing. So I felt very alienated.
Okay.
And not only that, I didn't know business. I didn't understand it. It was very confusing to me. I didn't know how you make money outside of jobs. Right? How do you just make money out of the air? It's like super weird to think about.
Just 100%.
You know
100%.
what I mean? And then I realized, just to answer that question, you need to provide value to the community.
Yes.
So how do you do that? As an entrepreneur, how do you do that? And then I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I go, oh, That's how I do it. I can do it through real estate, and then that led me to get my license, which led me to learn how to be a realtor, which then took way too long to get to wholesaling, but it did. And then over the last 8 years, it's been wholesaling, which has been fantastic.
And the only thing I'm going to add in there, just to kind of challenge you a little bit, make sure you're not just getting a partner that's going to take things off of your plate so that you don't have to do the work that you don't want to do. Make sure that it's a mutually beneficial,
hire somebody for that.
Make sure it's a mutually beneficial
That's
relationship.
That's a $20 an hour person.
100%.
If you can replace your role with somebody that you can hire, you don't need a business partner.
And dude, that's where I see a lot of people. They come to me
It's
and they're like, "Hey,
everybody.
I want this because I don't have the time and I want to do this, this, and this." I'm like, "Whoa, just go and find that position, get a VA, go and hire someone locally." Like, there's ways around that too.
Yep. Good question. Broad question. Deep question.
Right.
Yeah. Art asks, which is better, hedge funds or regular cash buyers?
That's a great question. So I will personally say I prefer the regular cash buyers. Hedge funds are they take a little bit of time with responses. They take a little bit of time where they need to go through an inspection process and they discount it all. But obviously, if you've got an in with a hedge fund and they're able to respond quickly and just not play games, a hedge fund's quicker because they don't care. It's just they know that they're a numbers game. I have a lot of friends that do 10, 15, 20 deals a month with a hedge fund. For me, I like the personal relationship between a regular cash buyer, and I find that those are just like what we've been talking about, the theme of the show today. Besides the goals, it's basically your network. It's building those relationships in the community, and you get that with the regular cash buyers.
Art, I'm going to give you the classic attorney answer. It depends. It depends. It depends, Art. Hedge funds only will buy certain properties and they want them cleaner.
Yes.
So these properties typically are going to be less than 30,000. So if it's a really beat up property, they're not going to consider it. They don't want to be they don't want to have a ton of crews out there doing these things. Now they do up to 30,000 typically, which is pretty easy. Carpet and paint, lipstick on a pig type of thing. But your regular cash buyers are going to be around a lot longer. Your regular cash buyers are the people that you're going to go on vacation with someday. You know what I mean? Like, not too much. You still want to keep a healthy tension with them and get the most out of them. But these are going to be the people that you network with, that you're friends, that you know, that you do business with and squat up with.
Meetups.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, meetups. And the hedge funds are fantastic for properties that you flip and want to sell them to. That's what we do. That's not cash buyer. We're the cash buyer in that situation. So I see a lot of the people that we sell deals to fix up properties and then sell to the hedge funds.
Right.
So we make money and they make money selling it to the hedge fund. So you can do that part on specific deals. You can take it down, clean it up, put it on the market yourself, or send it right to the hedge fund and get paid, and it's very smooth. So it depends. What's a good strategy to get loud on social media? I'm going to let you take this over, and then I'll start my thing.
First things first, start now.
Yep.
Just start now, take action, and then as I said earlier, use Gary Vee's motto, document the journey.
Yeah.
I'm talking not only just wins and flashiness and look at this deal I closed, look at this relationship. Talk about your struggles. Be authentic, be genuine. That's what the community wants to feel and hear, because at the same time, when you're worried about other people's opinions, worried about other people being all flashy, everyone is having the same thoughts and struggles. So when you get on the camera and you're saying, hey, I'm out here, I was at this appointment, I didn't get it under contract, I struggled because I didn't do this, this, and this, and I didn't close properly.
Yep.
That's a learning lesson that even though you were able to get loud and talk about a loss, people are going to resonate with that. They're going to start to communicate. They're going to start to engage. And that's what allows you to build a bigger community, being vulnerable.
Albert?
I like to think besides starting now, it's keeping it consistent. One of my things that I tried for 2021 is trying to get more traction on my social media. And then before some personal stuff happened in December, I was posting one story a day on my Instagram at least, and I found the engagement to be insane. Like, people were just laughing, reacting to my stories, and it wasn't even about real estate. I literally had a story. I was throwing away my old Converse that were my deadlift shoes, like in the trash, and I got so many reactions off of that just because it was like what I would do anyway. It's just me being me. Like, nobody does Albert Bowie better than Albert Bowie, and I'm not trying to copy a Ryan Zolin or a Brent Daniels, because I can't beat you guys at being you, but no one can beat me at being me.
That's
so
it.
the more I be me, the more the community respects
Personality.
That's it. I would just tactically, Chris, 3 stories a day.
Love it.
For real.
All on
3
one social media platform, or
I would
or-
probably do it on. Well, it depends. It depends on where you're. Usually Instagram, but I don't know if Snapchat's better. I don't know if doing a TikTok
So
would
just
be
pick
more.
one and be consistent with that.
Yeah. I would just say pick one that you want to be consistent with and start building it up.
I love it.
So, yeah, there you go, Chris. How can we start our branding? Entrepreneur Rogelio. Listen. Number 1 is reps. It's posting a lot, brother. It's posting a lot about what you're doing and how excited you are. If you bring energy to whatever you want to brand, whether it's yourself or your company, I wear the same T-shirt every single day. I go out in public. Anybody that has a TTP swag that goes out in public, somebody's going to ask, "Oh, what is that?" Or they go, "Oh, TTP, yeah." There, you know what I mean? Like that, you start getting recognized. You start getting people that are like, you would never expect to run into while you're at Target with your 4-year-old or whatever. It's like, "Oh, TTP, what's that?" You know what I mean? Like, so it's just reps and reps and reps and reps. So I would say determine if you want the brand to be you or if you want it to be your company, and then from there, just be loud about it and have a lot of energy about it and have a lot of confidence behind it. I know if people talk to people, they're going to win. The more people you talk to, the luckier you're going to be.
Yep.
The whole secret sauce to all this is being a good communicator, a effective communicator, a great communicator. And you become that by talking to people. So I proudly wear it every single day. I proudly promote it every single day. So you have to have a lot of pride. You have to have a lot of confidence. You have to have a lot of energy. And you have to have a lot of reps.
Yep.
And just get loud.
Dude, I can't say
That's
anything
it.
better.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. Christian.
There you go.
Got first deal under contract. 40K fix and flip. Need a cash buyer. Guys, if you are in Michigan, let's get going. And Christian, this is, for the first time I'm mentioning this, starting next year, I'm going to be able to help you sell those deals. I've got something cooking up that's going to be absolutely bananas for helping people sell deals around the country. It's going to be wild. It's going to be so good. So anyway, until then, what I would say is call every single person in Pinconning, Michigan, every single real estate agent that has a flip right now on the market. You need to call them up and see if they are looking to do another project. Call them up, and then once you exhaust that list, you need to go on LinkedIn, look for everybody in Michigan that says that they're real estate investors, send them messages, or a lot of times they have their phone number on their column. And Christian, get the cash buyer pack at ttpinsider.com. TTP Insider for real. Get the cash buyer pack in there. Shows you how to find the top 100 buyers. You got this.
Love it.
All right. Congrats. Now get it sold. Vasily, you guys are amazing. I'm in Sacramento, California. The median price is around $550K. What can I say to the agents right now when the holidays are around the corner?
Yeah, so treat it like you would. Doesn't matter if it's around the holidays. Guess what? Most agents' business slows down in December. So when they get that call from you, they're even more ecstatic. So I would just be doubling down. If anything, right now, we got 5 deals under contract last week.
What do you
from
say to
MLS. Reach out to them and be like, hey, I know I wanted to reach out. The only thing that would be a little bit different would be asking if the seller's okay closing before the end of the year.
Okay.
That is the only thing that's going to be different. Aside from that, treat it like normal. Hey, I'm a cash buyer. I'm interested in the property 123 Main Street out in Sacramento, California. If that's the market you're in.
It's a good market. This is like your price point.
Absolutely. 550 and up. That's where we play around in. So don't be discouraged by a higher price point and be like, hey, I just wanted to reach out. Would the seller consider a cash offer? And then the next question, if they say yes, would be, okay, would they like to close before or after the year, the end of the year? And then from there, just obviously, like we always say, break down the motivation situation of the seller, figure out what it is that's going to get the deal done. If it's you getting represented by an agent that you know, if you're an agent yourself and you represent yourself, or if you have the listing agent represent you in the transaction in a dual agency.
Boom. There you go. Thanks for the support. Thanks for being on here.
Love that.
Seriously.
And that's seriously, that price point, dude. Love that.
Abdul, yeah. Brent, can we get some more videos of you in properties running numbers? Yeah. Like literally like the deal breakdown, like me in those, Abdul, or
Yeah,
me comping?
You just did that too, right? Where you were inside the property breaking it all down.
We try to do it on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
It's just the issue is we wholesale most of our deals.
Right.
So if people are living in these houses, I'm not going to bring
For sure.
these guys in there with a camera crew and be like, we made $40,000 on this assignment. And this guy's getting out of here right now, packing up, and
Yep.
he's the tenant and he's going somewhere else. Isn't this great? You know, I don't have that swag like Pace where you could just walk up to anybody and just like with that cool demeanor and just start interviewing people that are like, you know, I just made $100,000 in this house. How do you feel about me doing that? They're like, good for you. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I don't have that swag. I don't have that smoothness like he has. So, yeah, I'll do as many as I can, brother. If it's, we just don't do a tremendous amount of flips, but if we do, we have one that we're closing that's going to be an $80,000 to $100,000 deal that I'd love to break down as well. But yeah, for sure.
Love it.
Thank you. That's gonna make Daniel feel real good. That people want to see that for real. Yeah.
So from Ryan LaChance, awesome name. Can I have a successful business doing this, in your opinion, if I continue to keep my full-time job for 3 more years until I retire? In other words, do I need to commit full-time? And I could give a little bit of backstory. I know
Yeah.
he is a firefighter as well.
Yeah.
So do you want to open up with that one, or do you want me to?
You know he's a firefighter.
He is.
No, go for it.
So I would
your
say,
thing.
honestly, dude, I have a friend that when I first started in real estate, he primarily focused on the investment side. He was a licensed agent. I'd recommend getting the real estate license. That's number 1. 2, he was a firefighter working, and I know how the schedules work. It's like 3 on, 3 off, 2 on, 2 off, however the schedule works. You've got downtime. During that downtime, double down on real estate and make that your priority on your off days. From there, he did the same thing. He was able to work the schedule so he could get a pension so that it would be able to structure a little bit more residual income for him after he retires. But then while doing real estate on those off days, he brought in about $500,000, $600,000 a year just while working the days he had off.
Yep.
So I would say double down on that. You don't need to go full-time right from the start because I know your specific situation. But yeah, I mean, if you were maybe struggling or there was some variables at the job that you didn't agree with, I mean, you can go full-time. Just make sure you obviously have enough residual income or you have money set aside that is going to be able to sustain maybe 6 months to a year of not getting a check.
Listen, every firefighter I know has a side hustle.
Absolutely.
Has a side hustle.
Yep.
Whether they're building like furniture or they're building those bags games or they work AC on the side or they're plumbers or they're doing something or they're creating direct marketing on the internet. They do all sorts of different things. Listen, you need 20 hours. Do you have that part-time schedule? Can you get that thing fired up? I think that this is going to be perfect for Ryan. This is, listen, 20 hours. Most of the people that I coach around the country have a 9 to 5. They're using this business to follow that blueprint that we have of doing your first deal, going to this business full time. That's steps 1 and 2.
Yep.
So the first thing is just making sure that you're getting deals in. You absolutely can with 20 hours a week, which I know you have because you have time on, you have time off. So let's pop this. Let's pop this on here. The perfect part-time schedule here. 20 hours minimum. 15 hours lead generation. Whatever you want to do, Ryan. Do you want to make calls? Do you want to door knock? Do you want to send out texts? You know, what do you want to do? You got to be proactive. You got to be proactive so that you can keep your budget low until you get the funds rolling in, and then you can start doing some pay-per-click. You can start doing some other, you know, maybe direct mail or something, depending. But you need to start by initiating the conversation and not hoping that conversations are going to come to you. 2, you got to be loud about every single part of this process, even if you are a firefighter. It doesn't matter if you're talking about doing real estate on the side. You're going to get a lot of people that love that. Let's put it up one more time, Matt. Just so I can go 15 hours lead generation, 1 hour practice and role play so that you can feel comfortable and confident on the phone, 1 hour lead follow-up, 1 hour driving for dollars, and then the last little 2 hours, because you got 18 hours built in there, the last 2 hours are for appointments. If you don't have appointments, then you're generating more leads or you're driving for dollars. So that is the perfect part-time schedule, and I'm telling you, with 20 hours, without a doubt, you can win. Without a doubt, you can replace your income. And if you want to go the full 3 years so that you get the pension, you get the retirement, you get all that stuff, do it. But just build it. Let's get some, what do they call it? Get a bag?
Get a bag?
Get some bags. Get some bags on the side. What do they call it, Andra?
Let's just go with it. Let's just go with it. We're gonna get bags.
You're going to get your
We're gonna
bag?
get your bags.
It's like get paid.
Racks. I don't.
You never said get a bag?
No.
Oh, you guys, man, I'm cooler than you guys.
And
Way
also
cooler.
too.
Hey, somebody in the comments, am I crazy? It's getting a bag. Get in the bag.
Yeah. And also too, I mean, Ryan, you're local, dude. Hit us up.
Yeah.
We got you.
Yeah. Go to the meetup. There you go. I'm closing on my primary residence tomorrow. I'm 23, and next year will be with motivation from TT. Yes, Andrew, you got this. Let's ring that bell for his primary residence. That is fantastic. That is the start. That is the start, Andrew. I am telling you, buy real estate, own American real estate. I am telling you.
Awesome.
You can only win. Just make sure you're buying in good areas. I'm just telling you. Don't get into the whole turnkey model in the middle of nowhere. All right. There you go. Mike Dodd locked up 2 deals with your 0.84 formula in Indiana and had to cancel them. No hate, but does that formula work well in the Midwest? Depends on the price, Mike. Depends on the price. First of all, that 0.84 formula in Indiana only works for properties that are above $200,000. So that's the thing. I mean, if you look at all the videos that I do, there is a $20,000 minimum if you're under $20,000. So, if you want to go 0.7, go 0.7. If you want to go 0.5, and listen, if you're under 200,000 and if you're under 250,000 to 100,000, it's 50%. That's your that's your price. If you're under 100,000, it's 25%. If you're above 250, it's 66%. But if you didn't do the numbers right and you didn't build in that at least minimum $20,000 profit in Indiana, there you go. That's a negotiation deal. So all I know is, Mike, I have dozens, maybe hundreds of successful students in the Midwest using that. So
Love it.
there you go.
Where can we follow Albert or Ryan? Follow us on Instagram. Matt, can you put up the usernames? It's at Albert Bowie and at Ryan Zolin. So it's just our first and last name, at Albert Bowie, at Ryan Zolin.
Nice. But keep it going, Mike.
Yeah,
you got it.
Dude, absolutely.
You'll look up more.
Absolutely.
Rob, how would you talk to a seller about the wholesale fee? What if they have a problem with it?
That's a good question. So for us, it's in our contract, but we also make sure they understand when we go into an appointment that we have the intention to make money. They understand that we are either going to market the property or we are going to close, flip it, and keep it as a buy and hold, or turn around and sell it after we renovate the property. So we don't ever lie about it. We don't ever try to hide that from them just because they have to understand that we're in this business to make money. You just want to make sure you're disclosing the fact that you could turn around and market it. I don't like saying wholesale fee because a lot of times they're going to start trying to discount us or telling us what that fee is worth to them. So that's why we word it as we're going to be able to market this property.
Yeah, Rob, every approach that we have and that I teach is you're the buyer.
Absolutely.
You're the buyer. So if you're the buyer having a conversation with the seller, one of your exit strategies that is open to you is to assign this contract to somebody else. But are you going to, and what if you close on it and flip it? Are you going to tell them how much you're going to make on a flip and they're going to be mad at you? Then they're not motivated. Then they don't want to trade potential equity for speed and convenience.
Right.
So go in as the cash buyer and don't fake it. Don't fraud it. Go in there, have financial backing.
How do you do that?
Have somebody that you squad up with in your market.
Yep.
That'll give you the 10-20% and then have a private money lender or hard money lender cover you for the rest.
Okay.
And you go to any big real estate investor, wholesaler, whatever in the area, and you say, listen, when I come across a really solid deal, will you be my financial partner? And they will tell you yes.
Yeah, they don't say no.
Or raise it from friends and family or whoever else.
Right.
The louder you get, the more opportunities you're going to have, Rob. But we always go in as the cash buyer, and it's in our contract that we have the right to market and to sell the deal to our network. if that's an option for us. That's one of our exit strategies.
Yep.
So that's the conversation when it comes up. What does this mean you can market it? Well, we have a network of investors that we work with that we put it in front of them, and if they want to buy it, we sell it to them.
Boom.
That's it.
And here we go.
Oh, there you go.
Boom.
There's their Instagram. Oh,
Oh, jeez. No. Secure the bag.
secure the bag.
So Brent wasn't crazy. He understood.
Secure the bag.
Brent, wait. What's that saying? Brent understood the assignment?
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, I knew it. Sasha, there she is. What does it mean when a property is under a LLC of its own address? A lot of distressed properties are under an LLC. Like, I love it. Like, this address would be 22 Banana and the LLC would be 22 Banana LLC. Yeah, a lot of people that own rental properties put them into LLCs to mitigate any kind of risk that they have.
Liabilities.
So when you sit down with a financial planner, with an attorney, with an accountant, they say, hey, Brent, make sure that you're putting these properties under an LLC that is protected by this trust or this or whatever else, so that if for some reason somebody gets hurt on that and they want to sue or, that's basically most of it. If something happens on that property and somebody wants to sue you for owning that property, they can't try to sue you for all of the properties that you have.
Correct.
Because the LLC actually owns it. They can only sue the actual owner. It's very rare that, any of that happens, but it's a nice strategy for asset protection.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't stop us from what we're doing. We just still reach out to those people and see if they would consider an offer on their property. Yeah.
Boom.
Renee, when wholesaling, what percent should you put aside for taxes? 30%, Renee.
That's exactly what I was going to
Yeah, put 30% aside. And then the beautiful thing is you'll probably talk to a CPA, and they'll probably tell you that you should set up an LLC or a corporation, or probably an LLC. And then they'll say, okay, listen, you can write off all of these expenses before you get taxed. Remember, the government wants us to be business owners. The government wants us to provide jobs. That's our democracy, right? That's the world that we live in, is a free market, capitalistic democracy that encourages individuals to create businesses to provide jobs for other people. So there is incentives, like being able to pay, deduct your expenses from your income.
Yep.
And that really helps out. The same with real estate. The same with housing.
Absolutely.
Government doesn't want to do the housing.
Yep. All about getting
They do okay, but they would prefer individual investors. 19 million people in this country are real estate investors, which is phenomenal because that's who provides for people to live in and rent those properties until they get to the position where they want to buy something. So there you go. Noah, been wholesaling full-time for 3 years now. Just bought my first rental, sub 2, 300 per month cash flow, and 30% equity. My turn. Here we go. There we go.
Let's go. What's up, Noah?
Fantastic. Congratulations. 3 years now. You've been doing it full time. That's step number 2. Make sure that you're crushing all that debt and paying all that down, and buy the assets. And it looks like he's on step 4 already.
Dude,
he's buying the assets and he's getting going. So Noah, you are on your way, brother. Keep adding to it. 30K equity that just added to your net worth.
Absolutely.
Albert?
I'm proud of you, man. Like, that's good. I'm thinking about
I thought your finger was getting itchy on the button. I was like, okay,
I'm thinking about that. I'm like, that's really good. Like 3 years of putting in hard work day after day after day and, battling doubt after doubt after doubt. So to pull that off, congratulations, man. The hard work's paying off.
I mean, Noah is really securing the bag.
Yeah.
What's up?
This is why it's the last episode of the year.
Manny, difference between real estate agent and broker. Very interesting. The reason that they're named different is because the broker is usually broker than the agent. Okay? It's the truth. No. A real estate broker, all right, here's how it works. The real estate department is The way that they do it is they give licenses to brokerages, and brokerages have to have a designated broker, somebody that signs off on all of the paperwork and look at that. And what happens is when you get your real estate license, you have to actually hang it with a broker. And typically in most states, you have to have a license for either 2 or 3 years before you go back to the school, back to real estate school, and get a broker's license. Once you have a broker's license, then you can open up your own brokerage. They'll give you a license to do that, and then you can have agents underneath you. But the real people that make the real money are the salespeople. In every industry, truly, and real estate agents make way more than brokers and owners of companies typically. That's why there's that joke, the broker or brokers. Brokers are broke type of thing. You get it. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't recommend people to get broker's license. The only time I ever will is if you want to own your own brokerage, but even then I'm going to challenge and question why, because I'm not going to name names out here, but there's a guy that was a broker of mine, he's a current broker, and he's like, oh, dude, I didn't start making money until 8 years. And I'm like, dude, woo, that sucks.
Yeah, it takes a long time. And you could go out and start really impacting the community. Brokers just do the training, provide the office space, provide the tools, provide the...
Well, and you have more continuous education, and when you renew your license, it costs more money. So.
Well, yeah. And you're responsible for all these knuckleheads out there.
Oh, yeah. Brokers don't sleep.
Yeah. Kelly, hi guys. When the agent comments say that wet signatures are required to make an offer, do you pass on that deal as a hard to work with agent? Just do it, or what is your workaround to circumvent?
So wet signature is usually referring to it being like actually on the paper itself. But I would say honestly, like, just make sure the contract that they're submitting is an executed contract. So it needs to have a signature for it to be a legitimate offer going out to their clients. Don't get discouraged by that. I would say, okay, sounds good. Is there any way I could DocuSign this? Is there any way I could do it digitally? Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, Kelly, really interesting here. If it's a deal, nothing's going to stop me. The question is, and some of the time, and I like this on multiple different levels here, Kelly, because if other people are just submitting DocuSign, like it's a computer technology, send DocuSign, email, blasting out to everybody type of thing. Agents get tired of that because there's no communication. They're not really serious. They're just fishing. They're hoping that they can snag, one deal every single day, and they send out thousands of offers, and agents get tired of it. They're just like, this isn't a real buyer. You're just being fake. This isn't going to go through. In the interest of my clients, I'm going to set up a force field here that says, listen, there needs to be real people that have signed this contract that truly want this deal and that are going to communicate with me. I am telling you, Kelly, if you over communicate with agents, you will win so much.
Without
if you play by they're like, I need wet signatures, great. I'm going to put this together, but I need you to I need to know if we have a good chance at getting this deal.
Right.
Because I want to work with you and I want to be able to do and make this as smooth as possible, but communicate with me. If you're getting other offers in, just at least let me know. You don't have to disclose what they are, but just let me know if you've got other ones in and, the likelihood of us getting this deal. And they can do those type of things, right? And sometimes they'll just let you know, listen. And their clients will tell them, yeah, I don't care. Tell them that we got an offer for $255,000. Okay, Ryan, we got an offer $255. Can you and Albert go $260? And I'll see if you can get the deal at $260. Yeah, great. That would be awesome, right?
Absolutely.
We have those conversations all the time. Yeah. So, Kelly, I think it's great. I think that if people put hurdles up around it. Now, if they're trying to big dog you, if they're trying to be like, hey, I want wet signatures. I want you to drop it off. I want you to present my offer. I'm going to make sure that we have 48 hours to return, to get you a response to this offer. And my client's going to blah, 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 and this and this and this. Then you can back off and be like, this is a nightmare. But if they're like, yeah, I have to put this in place because I'm getting 15 offers. None of them are real. I want to see who's real and what's not. It's going to be more and more. And this guy gets louder about putting deals on the MLS and comes out with a course and comes out with code. All that stuff, there's going to be more of it because it works and it's impactful, right? So if there's something to set yourself apart, do it. Great question. New prop. First post, who wants to squat up in New York City Metro, looking to get some deals done? Just closed a duplex and looking to get some deals or assignment fees. Would the prop stream list be a good start? Yes, absolutely. Depends on what market you're going to be focusing on. If you're in New York City Metro, yeah, I mean, it's just... most people go to New Jersey. Most people go outside of the city because there's more opportunities and there's less like big time developers and money getting poured down the throats of all the property owners in your area. So if you need to expand out, PropStream is fantastic. I would also suggest that you consider driving for dollars. Yeah,
Sure.
ttpdata.com.
They close the duplex. We got to ring that bell.
Oh yeah.
Woo! Let's go. We got a duplex closed.
That's awesome.
Let's go.
Yeah. And listen, just do what you did to close the duplex. I mean, find those opportunities. Keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And welcome. Welcome to the show. First post. Awesome. Thank you for being brave, having the courage to post. That's awesome. New prop. Noah, looked up a hedge fund via PropStream that's buying in my area. Reached out to them by phone and email, and I'm waiting to hear back with their buy criteria. Any tips on building the relationship? Yes. Be super dope to them. Be really nice to them. Be really energetic. Be fun. Make them, yes.
Everything.
Every conversation you have has to be like it's your homie. This is somebody that you are connected with.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Somebody that you feel loose with, that you're having fun with, but still professional. You know what I mean? No, so just communicate. Just be you and just be in front of them and just listen, you want to be their best friend? Find them deals. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, you really want to blow it out of the water? Be really cool. Just be a cool person. That's it. Right. Don't overthink it. Just really communicate. And what can I do for you? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? You do that, you're gonna build a really good relationship.
Love it.
What's up? Oh, shout out. He's from Minnesota? All right. Hondra's from Minnesota. There you go. What city?
Twin Cities.
Twin Cities. Where's he from?
Twin Cities.
Twin Cities.
Oh, snap.
All right.
We know mutual friends. He was DMing me.
Oh, really?
He said, I've always wished to get the bell ring from Brent.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks for choosing my comment.
no, perfect. Thanks for DM. See, he knows. He knows how to get on here. Yeah. No, now get some deals, brother. Get some deals from Twin Cities. Hondra's hometown. Man.
I'm not from the Twin Cities, but
He's from the Twin Cities. No, what's your little teeny town you're from?
Pine Island.
What?
Pine Island.
Pine
Pine
Island? Is it an actual island or is it just a bunch of pine trees?
Okay,
Right.
Okay.
That's cool.
That's
It's not there's not water about it. I can get very loud. I got the fire in my belly, Brent, but what exactly should I be posting on social media? Hey, listen, I'm watching this show right now called Millionaire Before 30. It's really exciting. My comment's up right now. Look at that. Isn't that cool? It's all about real estate investing and building wealth. It's exciting. You guys should watch or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm driving for dollars right now. Look at this house. I'm going to try to get a hold of this property owner and see if they would consider an offer. Hey, I'm writing up a contract right now. I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's exciting, and I'm having a lot of fun with it, and this is cool, right? Like, all of those things are dope. Hey, I'm making calls right now. It's exciting. Hey, I'm walking into a meetup. Check this thing out. It's really cool. There's a lot of really excellent people here. I can't wait to see who I meet.
And also tag these people in
Right.
in your stories.
Yeah.
You're gonna post us right now. Tag us.
Yeah.
We'll share it to our stories.
sure.
You get our audience seeing your story.
That's it. That's
Build
it.
that community.
So all that. Yeah, that's it. John, got a verbal agreement. Wait.
Hang on.
To sell
hang on,
after 7 months of follow-up from a seller.
It's close. It's
I am
close.
working on getting the contract signed today. John
that-
Johnson,
Get
you
that
got
signed.
this.
Get that signed. You got it.
You got this. Certainty and likability.
And 7 months of follow-up.
Certainty and likability.
Most people I know would give up.
Yeah, great
That
job.
is awesome.
Get that deal. You better
Yeah,
DM
yeah.
all of us and tell us you got that deal today, John Johnson. There it is.
Yeah, what a good name.
Yep.
John Johnson.
It's my and John knows this, but that's what my Bo named our beta fish.
John Johnson.
John Johnson. It's a great name. I loved it. It wasn't like, beta something or whatever. It was John Johnson. It was a powerful name. Yeah. There you go. Addison Walker, how do you get back on your feet after suffering a major blow to your real estate business? I feel like the world is ending after losing a big deal.
So I think step one is exactly what your comment is there. You understand that you are present in how you're feeling with the emotions. This is the ebbs and flows we talk about. What you got to understand is that with this being an inconsistent business at the beginning of just up and down, be vulnerable. Just understand what you went through happened for a reason, but don't beat yourself up. Get back on the horse and know that what happened in this was a lesson that you had to go through that's going to lead you to a better and bigger opportunity in the future.
Yep.
So,
thoughts, Albert? You wanna
Every
dip into-
business has their up and downs, right? And if you don't have your down, then you're not learning and pushing enough,
Right.
Addison. I mean, Ryan and I have our struggles in our business too, and if it's very stressful, but at the end of the day, we got to learn from it and move on. And you look at the Amazon, the Teslas of the world, they get sued on major levels, but you know what? They got to keep going because they believe in themselves. They believe in the product. For you believe in the service that you bring to the real estate world. So get back up and keep going, right? The pipeline's still there. There's still plenty of more opportunities out there, right? You only fail if you don't get back up.
I love that. And also
Listen-
have a community around you. I mean, like
That's right.
I can tell you right now, like Albert just hit it right on the head. We have our struggles, but guess what? We're honest and vulnerable with each other, and we say, hey, dude, we failed with this.
Yeah.
What can we do next time to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Love it.
If you need help, reach out to us. We are all approachable, and we'd be more than happy to tell you our feedback and try to get you back on that right path.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, and just real quick, just to add to that, at the lowest that I've ever been, the only thing that got me out was work. Like you have to fill it with something. If you let your brain sit there and hallucinate and hallucinate
Yes.
and hallucinate, you will get into a loop of non-productivity. If you go out there and knock on doors, if you go out there and start calling people, you go out there and start making offers, you go out there and start calling all your leads. Remember, Addison, you're going to do, in my mind, everybody watching this is going to do 5,000 deals in their life. They're going to do 5,000 deals in their life. Everybody watching this, whether it's live or afterwards, is going to do 5,000 deals. You will not remember that deal after doing all of those deals. There's going to be way more deals that fall out, and there's going to be way more deals that go through. So, great. It hits you. You don't like the feeling. You learn from that, and you go out and you put the work in. You go find some more leads. You go find somebody. You wake up every single day and ask yourself, who's going to do business with me today? Who is going to sign an agreement today? Who's it going to be? And then with our beautiful human brains, we find what we're looking for. So if you find what you're looking for, and you're looking for who's going to sign a deal today, I used to write every single day, I will make $10,000 today. I will make $10,000 today. I will make $10,000 today. I have blown that out of the water between my two businesses.
Boom.
Seriously.
Yep.
No bullshit.
Well, I mean, that's what I always tell too.
But if I didn't do that for 3 straight years, every morning, I don't know if I would have done it. I really don't. I don't know if it would have been my thing. I don't know if the reticular activator or whatever the hell it's called, the antenna that we have in our brain, would have found it.
Right.
So I think, one, you got to be really super grateful for the stuff that you do have, because gratitude destroys fear and anxiety. That is a known fact. That's science. Okay, and then 2, go out and put the work in. Go out and find another deal.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be a bigger deal.
Without
and
a
when
doubt.
you close that $50K deal, remember the time that deal didn't go because it led to that big deal closing. That failure led to you cleaning things up so that you were more successful.
I had a deal where it was over $1 million profit that I lost. It was a land deal. I was actually working on it with Jamil. It was when I first started wholesaling.
Yeah.
And I lost it. Dude.
How'd you lose it?
The seller found out that the property was worth a lot more. They came back and they were like, hey, we want $200,000 more. And without hesitation, I was like, done. And the wife was like, I told you it was
that's
worth
what
so
I
much more. You learn.
No.
You learn.
Wait. 200,000. How am I supposed to do that? That's how you.
That's how I should have. And it was a learning lesson. I beat myself up, but then this is where I
am I
actually
supposed to do that, bro?
I implemented this then. 70% mindset, 40% action. 70% of this business is up here.
Yeah.
Understand that.
Yep. Garrett, just got a response from a seller. Thanks for reaching out. We have a family friend who has expressed desire to buy her home, but we'll let you know if that falls through. Okay, got it. So that's an interesting one, Garrett. That is a very common objection. The most common way to respond to that is obviously, hey, listen, I hope that it goes through. I'm not sure if you've done a lot of business with friends, but sometimes it gets really a little bit rough. It gets a little bit, it's not as smooth as you want it to be. If anything happens, just know I'm here. I'm going to communicate with you until you go through this process. I hope you do sell it to your family. That's great. Keep it in the family. That's fantastic. But if anything starts getting wiggly and you feel like it's going to damage the relationship, let me know.
Yep.
Right?
I mean, also too, you could even throw, and this is like just a little bit of a challenge, throw another angle.
Yeah.
You could go the aggressive route and say, hey, if anything's not in writing, is there anything I could do to get this deal done?
Right.
Just ask the question.
Yeah. There you go. Right. Pros and cons of having a real estate license when wholesale. Well, first of all, Renee, it's going to happen. You're gonna have to in the next 5-10 years, maybe.
Absolutely.
And I know that seems like a far way out, but when you start building this business now, and it's 5 years later, and you've got $1 million business, and then everybody has to be licensed, and then you have to do
so far ahead.
something. If you do it now, you can. It's going to be really, really, really good for you. We both have we all have our licenses, and there's a ton of advantages. One, you get the doors open a lot easier to real estate agents because you're one of them, and that's really cool. 2, you get access to the MLS and the most accurate data from the MLS. And 3, depending on the way that it's set up, you can have some protection through your brokerage, which is really cool. Which is typically called something that I've never talked about on here, E&O insurance. What? E&O. I'm just dying over here. E&O insurance, which is errors and omissions insurance, which is really cool. So there you go.
Well, and also too, I mean, if your business model has any way, shape, or form a direct-to-seller business model, guess what? The #1 kickback, aside from finding motivation, is going to be price.
Yeah.
Flip the hat around. Hello, now I'm a realtor. I would love to get you that price you're looking for. Let me list it for you.
There you go.
There you
well,
go.
And another one is if you don't want to work for somebody, if you don't want to list that house, if you don't want to do it,
You can get a referral.
You get a referral fee of 30%.
And realtors can
imagine
only
getting
get
a
that.
percent of like 300,000, 500,000, 100,000 for here's the name, phone, address, and phone number.
Yep.
For real.
Boom.
I mean, we make 6 figures a year from it. Yeah. Should you be driving for dollars or buying lists, both, one more than the other? 80%, Mike, 80% of new real estate investors, wholesalers, whatever you want to label it, get their deals from driving for dollars. I did my first 20 deals from driving for dollars. Very crude. I literally, with one of these pads and an old, terrible pen, and I would write down addresses and then skip trace it and call them. But now you got Deal Machine. So Deal Machine, use that TTP code, Mike, for the biggest discount that they have. Dealmachine.com, coupon code TTP.
Love it.
Matt, will you put that on the Deal Machine little runner? Just so that everybody has it. There you go. And they let you know if it's occupied, if it's vacant, if it's investor, if it's owner that owns it and lives in there. So they let you know potential equity and all that stuff. It's really, really smart. Yeah. You guys messing around back there? What's going on back there? Okay. Gavin, can you explain transactional funding? Is a good option for double closing?
Yeah, transactional funding is usually just the middleman that allows you to actually purchase the property, take it down, and then turn around and sell it again. Other option would be double closing it, which is where you don't need the funds. But I don't really use transactional funding, but I have the option available if we need it. So
love it. Yeah, transactional funding is super, super. I mean, it is a very strong tool. Imagine this, Gavin. You and listen. Here's the thing: the issue with transactional funding is it's 2 to 3 points, 2 to 3%, and we typically make 10% on a deal. So you're giving up 20 to 30% of your profits, of your income, to this, and that's fine if you understand the power of it. You know what the power of it is? You now are a millionaire. These funds have tens of millions of dollars in it.
Billions.
You know what I mean? Like, you can now walk around and close any deal that you want as a cash buyer. Think about that. Think about if you had the confidence in your brain that you know that you had $10 million in an account to buy property. How would those conversations go different? Would you feel more confident? You know you would feel more confident. Transactional funding is dope. It's really cool. It just takes a lot. I mean, it's just they take a good slice because it's 100%. And they're only going to give you transactional funding if you have the buyer already lined up. So it's literally very low risk for them, very high reward, but they give you 100% of not only the closing, not only the purchase price, but also the closing costs, like everything, like the whole thing. Imagine like a rich uncle that's just like, any deal you do, Gavin, I'm going to give you the money and you give me some percentage and we're going to win. That's what it's like. It's like Scrooge McDuck just right behind you with all his money. And he's like, yeah, just go buy all the properties that you want that are good deals as long as you already have them sold to your cash buyers. So they want to see the contract. They want to make sure that those people have the ability to close. They have their earnest money deposit in. They know what you're making on the deal. They know there's enough spread, and they know that they're going to get paid right away for sending in a wire for 15 minutes to an hour and then getting their wire right back the same day or the next day if the wire cutoffs, later. But yeah, Gavin, it's awesome. Yeah, it is a great option for double closing. I see this more and more and more. You see a lot of this happening in the states that require a license to wholesale with people that don't want to get a real estate license. They have to do transactional funding. Miss Williams, I'm currently going through my TTP courses. Am I late to the game when I'm ready in January in Nevada? I just want to jump in, but I got to do my homework. Yeah, jump in.
Yeah, do it.
No, you're not late in the game. Like this will happen forever. You will always find opportunities forever.
I'm going to butcher that quote. How does it go? It's like the best time to plant a tree was like
20 years
ago, and then the second best time is now. It's the same real estate philosophy here. The best time to start is now. And more importantly, I want to just stress this. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to fail. It's going to happen anyway. Just make sure you're surrounded by people that could help you in the situations as they pop up.
Yeah, Shabana, it is like you go through all of the courses, go through the videos, go through all that stuff, get everything set up and start taking action.
Yes.
Right now, you're wondering, oh, am I late to the game because you're not in that action yet? You're hallucinating that maybe this is all like there's 12 million vacant properties based on the 2020 census that have been vacant, single family, been vacant for over a year.
Wow.
12 million. That's just vacant houses. That's one list that we're talking about. What about driving for dollars? What about pre-foreclosures? What about them loosening up the forbearance and them actually being able to foreclose on people now? What about a tax default? What about divorces? What about bankruptcies? What about properties just being older and dated? Like there are so many opportunities out there. There are more opportunities than there are investors. Seriously. So you got it. Edgar, amigos, I am totally new to this business. I'm thinking about rolling my 401k to a self-directed IRA to fund deals. Is it a good strategy?
You know, I haven't done anything along those lines, but I would say if you are...
I have friends that do that all the time, Edgar.
Yeah?
Yeah, just make sure that you talk to somebody that really understands the self-directed IRAs. But yes, oh boy.
Oh, man, we got to get that on here. Okay.
Okay, we'll get that on in a second. Edgar, one of my heroes, Todd Toback, uses this strategy all the time. And a lot of the really, really, really smart guys do. So just make sure that you're talking to somebody that understands the self-directed IRAs and have them help you organize it for sure. You don't want to play that doing it yourself.
I love this. This is action. This is taking action.
Yeah, I know it's John Johnson.
This is John
I can
Johnson.
see him. Oh yeah.
Boom.
There it is.
There we go.
There it is.
Look at that.
Look at you. There's a picture of us reacting to a video of you. There you go. Boom. See?
Dude,
that's it.
That's it.
That's how you now just do that, 2 more times. Every day.
Every day.
3 times a day.
You got it.
That's action taken. I love it. Kid's going to go far. I'm telling you. It's going to go real far.
I love that.
Yep. Brent, do you recommend getting a few deals before joining TTP? Renee, that is a personal choice. I have helped a lot of people. I would say it's probably 50-50. 50% of the people that I work with have never done a deal, and we get them to their first deal as fast as possible. So, and then the other 50 have done some. So it's really a personal choice, and really it's a financial choice for you. It's an investment, and you're going to want a return on investment. That's why we price it at what we do. It's not unreasonable. I think it's very reasonable for what you get, but it is an investment. So you got to make sure that you're comfortable with that investment and that you're in a position where you can get a return, because like I say, in all these things, you do all the hard work. I'll show you, I'll be the map. I'll give you the map. I'll be your guide going up this mountain, right? But you got to take the steps. You know what I mean? You got to be the one climbing. So that's personal. I would say if you're ready, if you know that you're going to take action, then ttpcall.com, ttpcall.com. Check it out. At least talk to the guys and see if it's the right fit for you right now. Yep. Awesome. That's the last of the questions.
Let's
Good.
do it.
So let's finish this on a high note. Okay. This has been a great year in my business thanks to TTP. JVC, you have done absolutely phenomenal. I don't think, why have you been avoiding the podcast, JVC? We got to do a podcast, all right? Javier, yeah. Javier Castro, I am going to get you. Vega. Javier Vega Castro, I think, right? I hope I'm not butchering that. I think I got it. So let's do a podcast. I'll get that set up for you. Love to share your story, brother. Yeah, it has been a great year. I mean, what a great year. We're going into a new year.
Yep.
I think that just from a macro, the top level, sorry, I've been listening to way too much Gary Vee. I have been listening to way too much Gary Vee. I love it. It's interesting. Mike Mahoney actually listens to it with Carter, my godson, who's 10, on their way to school every day.
love
And
that.
Gary Vee cusses a lot, but so does Carter, the 10-year-old. Anyway, he's like a scooter kid. Like he hangs out. Yeah. He's going to be a professional, but he goes through these things and he listens to those things and they talk about it. And I think that that's really cool and special to be able to do that type of thing. But the closing out this year, going into next year, from a top level, I don't think that they're going to go too wacky with interest rates.
Yep.
Interest rates only affect purchasing power. It doesn't affect the amount of sales that happen in a given year.
Yep.
Which purchasing power means that, if people if interest rates go up, people's ability, we're a payment business, we're a payment society.
Yep.
So it affects people's monthly payment. And so instead of buying a $500,000 house, they buy a $475,000 house,
Yep.
but they still sell $500,000 houses to the other people
course.
that were going to buy 550 houses, but now want 500.
Right.
So don't get too crazy with it. I don't think that they're going to go to really, really, really massive inflation. I don't think that that's in the cards. I think that the whole country has come together on a lot of different ways to, deal with COVID and that whole situation. And I think that it's going to open up more, and I think that there's going to be more opportunities in 2022 than ever before.
Yep.
And I'm very, very, very bullish, very, very confident in really setting high goals for next year.
Absolutely, without
Right?
a doubt.
What do you
Without
think?
a doubt. Dude? I mean, you hit it all on the head. I think that the opportunity is better next year than it is ever before,
Yeah.
because the amount of people that are going to be selling, the amount of people that I've seen even on hold the past year, 2 years because of COVID,
Yep.
that were on the fence are going to start buying. They're going to start selling. They're going to be like, okay, I need to start taking action and taking massive action next year. I think next year's biggest theme for us is community and squatting up.
That's it.
I think that's all this is.
That's it.
The opportunities are out there, guys.
So connect, guys. That we have had a lot of fun on this show. We have just, it is an absolute honor to be in your guys' world for 90 minutes every single week. And we love you. We support you. We understand what you're going through. We've either been going through it, have been in it, or it's coming up. So we appreciate you. You guys are the absolute best. Follow us on Instagram. We put out a lot of different things kind of behind the scenes and some personal life stuff there, which is pretty exciting and fun. But yeah, follow us, guys. We
Yep.
love you guys.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next year.
See you guys.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up,